I bought a house in the middle of nowhere to escape my life. But now, I think the house is rewriting me. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Silent Hour Stories, where every midnight hides a tale. I'm your host, Skull, and tonight's story is sent in by another one of our listeners. What would you do if the place you sought for escape became a prison of perfection? This is the story of the house in Aethelburg. Before we begin tonight's tale, I want you to do something for me. Look around your room right now. Every object, every picture frame, every book. If something feels out of place, even just slightly, don't ignore it, because sometimes the things we move without realizing aren't moved by us at all. Our story begins with a man who thought he was escaping his life, only to find himself trapped in a new kind of nightmare. I don't know why I'm writing this, but I'm alone out here and I have to tell someone. If I go crazy, at least there will be a record of it. I torched my life about a month ago. Job, apartment, relationship, the whole thing. I was an architect, or I was. Burnout left me hollow. I just needed quiet. I found this listing online, a house going for almost nothing. The catch was its location, the middle of nowhere in a failed 60s housing development. The town's name was Aethelburg. It sounded perfect. When I got there, it was even deader than I imagined. A ghost town of asphalt and weeds, perfectly laid out streets that led nowhere. Rusted streetlights like skeletal sentinels. All the houses identical, rotting boxes. Except mine. Mine was clean. Too clean. Like someone had scrubbed it a week ago. The first days were bliss. The silence pressed on my eardrums. Not city quiet, but deep, heavy quiet. I unpacked slowly. I started to feel human again. That's when the little things started. The first thing was a picture frame. An old photo of my parents. I'd placed it on the mantel above the fireplace. One evening, walking to the kitchen, I stopped. My hand picked up the frame and moved it 4 inches to the left. I don't remember deciding to do it. It was like autopilot. But after I did, I felt calm, relief, like an itch I didn't know I had was scratched. I told myself it was nothing. A few nights later, I woke up, not from a sound, I just woke up. I wasn't in bed. I was standing in the kitchen. The linoleum was ice cold under my feet. The only light was moonlight through the window. And I saw what I'd done. Every can of food I owned was stacked into a perfect pyramid on the counter. Flawless, symmetrical. I have no memory of doing it. But the scariest part was my first reaction. Not fear, satisfaction. A quiet voice in my head whispered, "There, that's better." The panic came later when I was back in bed, shivering. I told myself maybe I was sleepwalking, but I'd never done that before. Maybe it was stress, maybe the house. I tried to find a logical reason, but it kept happening. During the day, I'd zone out. I'd come back to myself and realize I'd spent an hour arranging books by the exact shade of their covers. I scrubbed bathroom grout white with a toothbrush. I didn't remember starting, but finishing gave me that same awful relief. I thought maybe isolation was making me obsessive. Everything had to be perfect, symmetrical. If a coaster was off-center, it wasn't just annoying, it was physically wrong. The knot in my stomach wouldn't fade until I fixed it. The problem was, it worked. The burnout, the anxiety, gone. All replaced with quiet obsession. I tried to fight it. 3 days ago, I left the living room messy. A cup on the floor, a book on the sofa. I tried to live like a normal human. That's when the pain started. A dull headache behind my eyes. Then the low hum. A vibration through the walls. So low it rattled my teeth. I lay curled on the bed for hours, pressure building until I thought my skull would split. By dawn, I broke. I cleaned. I straightened the rug. I obeyed. The second I finished, the pain vanished. The hum stopped. Silence returned. That's when I knew. The house had rules, and breaking them had consequences. Then tonight happened. I was in the bathroom washing my face. I looked in the mirror and my right hand started to lift. I didn't tell it to. I fought it with everything, but it wasn't mine anymore. My own finger touched my forehead and it drew. A spiral with straight lines like a sun. 10 seconds, maybe less, but it felt like an eternity. Then it stopped. My arm dropped. I was in control again. But I know what happened. It's not arranging my things anymore. It's arranging me. I should leave. Any sane person would. But the thought of leaving fills me with dread. The headache, the humming, the rules. I can't disobey them. And there's something worse. Since I started obeying, my creativity is back. For 6 months I couldn't design. But after one episode I sat down at my drafting table, and the lines just flowed. Perfect, elegant, flawless. Not mine. Not really. This house isn't haunting me. It's fixing me. Sanding away the chaos. Filing down the mess. Filling me with structure. And a part of me is terrified, but another part is so tired of the mess. The silent hour fades, but the stories remain. See you in the dark. If this story chilled you, like, share, and subscribe to Silent Hour Stories, and tell me in the comments, would you leave the house or stay and obey?